On December 24, 2024, Wang Xing was scrolling through WeChat. Wang was 31 years old and a working actor. He had a couple small roles on his resume: Ip Man 3, Fox Spirit, Matchmaker, The Tale of a Rose, the kind of parts where you show up, you do your scene, you collect your check, and then you hope it leads to something bigger. A friend added him to an actor group chat. The group chat was called Sunan Professional Actors Group. It was one of those industry networking spaces where people post casting calls and job opportunities. A few days after Wang joined the group, someone started posting about a film shooting in Thailand. The account claimed to represent GMM Grammy, which is actually Thailand's largest entertainment company. They needed actors who could speak English, and they needed someone fast. So Wang sent in an audition tape. And on December 27th, they told him he got it. They wanted him for the role. The details were pretty vague, though. All it said was remote shooting locations somewhere in Thailand, and the schedule is still being finalized. But GMM Grammy was legitimate. It's a real company. The people seemed professional, and Wang had actively been trying to land overseas work where he could really use his English. So this felt like everything he'd been waiting for. But over the next couple days, things stayed vague. The shooting schedules weren't coming together. Locations kept changing. By December 30th, just a few days later, Wang got a weird feeling. Something just didn't sit right with the whole thing. So he reached out to the casting agent and tried to back out. The casting agent, named Yan, became super aggressive and cursed Wang out. He told him to pull it together. Finding another English-speaking actor on such short notice isn't easy, he said. Why are you being difficult about this? This pushback and pressure worked on Wang. I mean, he was eager to build his reputation in the industry, and he didn't want to burn any bridges or get a bad reputation for flaking on projects. So he changed his mind and agreed to make the trip. And he started packing his bags. His girlfriend had concerns. The whole thing felt rushed and disorganized, but Wang was optimistic. This could be his big break. January 2nd, 2025, around 9 p.m., Wang boarded his international flight to Bangkok. The flight landed at Bangkok Airport around 2 a.m. on January 3rd. Wang's outside the airport looking for his ride. It's around 4 a.m. in the morning, still dark out, and a gray Toyota pulls up. The driver didn't speak English or Chinese, which was weird but not really alarming. Wang figured he was just hired local transport provided by the company. The car pulled out of the airport and started heading north. Wang felt tired from the flight, but wide awake. He was super excited. He kept his phone out, sending his location to his girlfriend as they drove. Just keeping her in the loop, letting her track where he was going. The drive kept going. And going. They passed through province after province. Wang was checking the maps on his phone, watching the little dot representing his location move further and further from Bangkok. Now hours were passing. Wang started taking photos. The vehicle's license plate, landmarks they were passing, road signs. He sent those to his girlfriend too. Part of him was just documenting the journey, but part of him was starting to feel a little uneasy. This was a really long drive. Where exactly was this filming location? Around 10:30 in the morning, they arrived in Mae Sot district. Wang looked at his map and realized they were right near the Myanmar border. He posted on his social media trying to keep things light. Crazy start to 2025. I'm at the Thai-Myanmar border. The car pulled up to what looked like a supermarket. Wang grabbed his stuff. Confused about the plan, but he assumed someone from the production company would meet him here. Maybe this was just a pit stop before heading to the actual location. Another vehicle pulled up. A pickup truck, bigger, more rugged than the sedan he'd been riding in. Someone gestured for him to get in. Wang hesitated. This didn't feel like a production pickup, but what else was he going to do? He was in a border town hours from Bangkok. He didn't speak Thai and had no idea where he was supposed to be. So he got in the truck. They were driving towards the river, the Maui River, which forms the natural border between Thailand and Myanmar. Wang was watching out the window now, paying close attention. They weren't going through any official checkpoint. No border crossing with guards or paperwork. Wang's unease was turning into real concern now. He kept his phone out, still tracking his location, still sending updates to his girlfriend, but the signal was getting spotty. They were in remote territory now. The truck approached the river. He could see a crossing point, not an official one, just a place where vehicles could afford to cross. The truck drove into the water. Wang could feel the wheels of the vehicle find their grip on the rocky riverbed. They were crossing into Myanmar. Wang was trying to stay calm. Maybe the filming location was just across the border. The truck finally made it across the river, and that's when Wang saw them. Several men, armed men. They were waiting by the side of the road. The truck slowed down, and the armed men approached. Their body language was wrong. This wasn't friendly. This wasn't a film crew. The men opened the truck door and grabbed Wang. They were rough, not saying much, just physically moving him out of the pickup and towards another vehicle. Wang tried to ask what was happening. Where's the filming location? Nobody answered. They just pushed him into a new vehicle. And that's when it clicked. There was no film shoot. There was never a film shoot. He'd been lured into a trap, trafficked 6 hours north from Bangkok, and handed off to armed criminals in Myanmar. The last message his girlfriend had received from him was around 11 a.m., showing his location at the border. The vehicle with Wang inside drove deeper into Myanmar territory. They were heading to a compound called Apollo Park in the town of Myawaddy, one of the most notorious centers for human trafficking and scam operations in Southeast Asia. But Wang didn't know that yet. He just knew he was in serious trouble, completely out of place, and no one back home knew exactly where he was. The compound appeared ahead, concrete buildings surrounded by fences and armed guards. Wang was pulled out of the vehicle and brought inside. This place was packed with people, at least 50 people that Wang could see, maybe more. Mostly Chinese nationals, but people from all over the world. Everyone looked scared. Everyone looked trapped, because they were. The guards made that immediately clear. Welcome to Apollo Park. This was Wang's new workplace, and he wasn't leaving until he earned his way out by scamming people back in China. That's the operation here. Forced labor, slave labor, trafficking people who can speak multiple languages, and forcing them to scam people all around the world. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and these operations rake in billions of dollars annually. The first thing they did was shave Wang's head. This is standard procedure for any new arrival at these scam compounds. Then came orientation. They called it training. For 3 days, Wang was forced to sit at a computer and type. They were teaching him text-based scam techniques targeting Chinese people, romance scams, investment scams, fake job offers like the one he fell for. The script was always the same. You build trust, create urgency, and then extract money. They showed him examples of successful scams. They explained the psychology behind them. They made it clear that this was his job now. Wang couldn't sleep. The fear was constant. He was surrounded by guards, locked in a compound in a foreign country, being forced to commit fraud. The people around him were in the same situation. Some had been there for months, some years. They all had the same look in their eyes. Exhaustion, terror. Back in China, his girlfriend, Jaija, was losing her mind. She'd been tracking Wang's location all morning, watching that little dot on her phone keep moving north from Bangkok, through provinces she never heard of, getting closer and closer to Myanmar border. Then around 11 a.m., the update stopped. His last location was right at the Thai-Myanmar border. Then nothing. She tried calling, but messages weren't going through. No response at all, just silence. She contacted the Shanghai police immediately. She called the Chinese embassy in Bangkok. She reached out to the consulate in Chiang Mai. Everyone gave her the same bureaucratic response. File a report with Maysop police, follow proper channels, and give it time. But she knew she couldn't just wait for the system to work. So, on January 5th, late at night, she sat down and wrote everything that had happened in a social media post. Every detail she had, the fake casting call from the account, Wang's flight to Bangkok, the long drive north, the last location at the border, the photos he sent her, the license plate and landmarks, everything. She posted it and tagged everyone she could think of. Then she waited. But she didn't have to wait long because the response was immediate. Within hours, her post was everywhere. It went viral. Chinese celebrities started sharing it. Gong Jun, an actor who'd worked with Wang on a project, posted about him. "I've acted in scenes with him before. He is a great and dedicated guy. I hope he is safe," he said. Within a day, the story was trending on all platforms. Millions of people were reading his girlfriend's post, sharing it, demanding action from authorities. Other actors started to come forward, saying that these fake film crews were extremely professional. They knew all the right industry terminology, they understood how casting worked, and they sounded exactly like the real production coordinators. That's what made this scam so effective. The public pressure on Thai and Chinese authorities became enormous. Celebrities were now demanding action. Millions of people were following the story. The Chinese embassy couldn't just ignore it, and the Thai government, whose economy heavily relies on tourism, was watching their cash cow collapse in real time. Behind the scenes negotiations were happening. Thai authorities coordinating with Chinese officials. Both of them were reaching out to the Karen National Army. This is the militia group that controlled parts of the Myanmar border region where Wang was taken. And here's the thing about these scam compounds. They don't operate in a vacuum. They have protection, local militias. They profit from these operations through taxes and fees. The compounds pay to exist. The militias provide security. It's a whole ecosystem. To provide a quick backstory, Myanmar is in the middle of a civil war, and different regions of the country belong to different militia groups. These scam compounds provide revenue that support the war. So these militia groups turn a blind eye as long as they're receiving their fee. So getting Wang out meant navigating that world. It meant that they had to convince people who were profiting from his captivity that releasing him was in their best interest. The publicity was bad for business. Better to give this one back and let things quiet down. On January 7th, 4 days after Wang disappeared, the Thai police announced that they had located him in Myanmar and were bringing him back across the border. Wang was brought to the Thai-Myanmar Friendship Bridge, the official crossing point. The Karen National Army officials handed him over to the Thai authorities. Wang walked across that bridge with a shaved head, wearing a white shirt and shorts. He looked exhausted, hollowed out, but he was free. So that was part one of this story. In part two, we're going to talk about what happened after Wang was rescued. Believe it or not, the story gets even crazier, which is crazy. So stay tuned for part two and don't get got.